Hey, George wants to know, we're getting ready to tell our son about his diagnosis. How did you find out that you were on the spectrum? And do you have any suggestions for us?
Well, I just kind of knew I was kind of different. You got to remember how it was because of my age when I was very, very young. The neurologist didn't even know what autism was. And so I was originally diagnosed minimal brain damage. Then the autism came on a little bit later. And we were still in my era in the Bettelheim mess and all of that.
Mm.
It was a totally different situation. But the problem I'm seeing with a lot of kids now is they're becoming their label, where their label's becoming their whole identity. My identity when I was a little kid was fly kites and little airplanes and go build stuff. That's what I liked to do when I was a kid. Oh, and by the way, people are home during COVID. Home Depot's business is booming. Yeah. Because people are doing home improvements, gardening. I was just reading an article about the UK, and people are finding ancient coins in their garden. Just reading an article about that in the UK.
That's cool. That's cool.
Very cool.
Well, this Nora Ephron, who was a wonderful screenwriter, you made me think about this. She always used to say that in different times of your life, there are different words that describe you. And it was a test that she would give people. She would say, what are the 5 words that describe you? And when you were talking about children now and young adults are identifying themselves, and I have some friends who the first word that they would say about themselves would be autistic. And then other friends who are on the autism spectrum who don't even use that word and don't use it to describe themselves. If you were to pick 5 words to describe you, would autistic be in the 5 words?
Well, scientist is certainly going to be first.
Love it.
Inventor, scientist is probably for professor of animal science. Career is how I define myself. And I've worked with a lot of undiagnosed people on the spectrum on the construction projects that we worked on, mainly steel and concrete construction and machinery. And about 20% of the people I worked with back in the 80s and the early 90s were either autistic, dyslexic, stutterers, or ADHD.
Yeah.
And they're not being replaced. And I think one of the worst things the schools ever did was taking the skilled trades out of the schools. The high-end skilled trades like plumbing, electrical, heating and air conditioning, welding. They've got this stuff in the community college, but you need to be exposing kids younger. We've got kids growing up that never use tools. And these people are not getting replaced. We're actually new skills. There's some stuff we don't know how to build anymore, like poultry processing line, for example. And it has to do with taking skilled trades out of the schools 25 years ago.
Hey, thanks for watching Autism Live. To